two of them got along surprisingly well. Su Muqing had zero defenses around this sweet innocent little girl, and spilled everything about herself while Ruoxu quietly schemed about how to recruit this 9-deaths demon realm evolver. After all, she had the potential to break through to the Emperor tier in the future, and having her on his side would be huge. I noticed Qiki liked hanging out with Su Muqing, and I did not mind. Having a human for the little one to have normal conversations with was a good thing. I just made sure to keep Su Muqing's chain securely locked, and had Lightning One keep a close eye on her at all times. But every single time I made sure Su Muqing's chain was locked tight and had Lightning One watching her like a hawk. Then one day out of nowhere, my stone puppet relayed new intel. A never-before-seen Tier 2 tyrant zombie had appeared on a street in the distance. Its arms had completely transformed into weapons of pure force. Its strength and speed were off the charts, and a human evolver was running from it in a complete panic. That person was the strong man named Iron Pillar, who had previously clashed with my crew. The tyrant zombie's wounds were regenerating on their own. Every slash Iron Pillar landed was useless in the end. He squeezed into a narrow alley, and barely escaped with his life. I had an idea. This tyrant is too powerful, a head-on fight is not winnable. But I had a better plan. I had Lightning lure the tyrant toward the police station. Su Muqing had just come back from a supply run outside. The moment she saw the tyrant, she jumped in without hesitation, drawing its attention to protect the people at the station. Let them wear each other down while I sit back and reap the rewards after a fierce battle with the tyrant. Su Muqing realized she could not win, so she led it to a gas station. Shot the fuel tank and the whole place erupted in a massive blaze. The tyrant crawled out of the inferno completely charred, but somehow still alive, though its injuries were catastrophic. I immediately sent Chonk 2, and Lightning, charging in the heavily wounded tyrant, could not withstand Chonk 2's over a ton steel rod, getting swung at it relentlessly, and it quickly went down unable to stand. Lightning seized the moment and kept slashing with his steel blade until the tyrant was finished. After pulling out the Tier 2 crystal core, I was thrilled, but this time I did not rush to absorb it. I cooked Qiki's meal first, got the defenses in order, and then headed to Building 4. Swallowed the core, and the overwhelming surge of energy helped me reach the breakthrough I needed. Got the defenses set up, then went to Building 4. Swallowed the core, and the massive wave of energy pushed me straight through to Tier 3. My physical stats made a massive leap, and my mental energy multiplied several times over. My control range expanded from 10,000 meters to several dozen kilometers, and I could command over 100 standard stone puppets at once. Even Tier 2 evolved zombies fell under my control with ease, and I could even outpace agility-type zombies in raw speed. Lightning could push back tank-type zombies head-on, same with Chonk. Now this is what a real apocalypse survivor looks like. Not long after breaking through to Tier 3, I also recruited another one. A Tier 2 tank zombie the size of a small car, and named him Chonk 2. I fitted him with a metal rod weighing over a ton, and when Chonk 2 brings it down, it crushes cars into scrap metal, and when thrown, it punches clean through concrete walls. With Chonk 2 standing guard at the complex entrance, even evolved zombies would not dare come close. Meanwhile, Ruoxu was also secretly leveling up after his own Tier 3 breakthrough. His telekinesis had grown massively. He could now fire iron nails at blinding speed combined with his time control ability. He could silently take a life without anyone noticing, looking across the entire apocalypse. He was already among the top tier of human fighters, and at some point, a book called The Blood Saber Manual showed up at my feet. I figured some mysterious master had left it behind. So I started learning it, not knowing that Ruoxu had actually written it in a notebook. And tossed it to me. This saber technique uses blood as a catalyst to forge killing energy. Once mastered, no weapon is needed. Your own blood aura becomes the deadliest blade in existence. I progressed at a shocking rate, and my combat power made a massive leap. But the peace did not last long. A 5-person squad of evolvers came from the survivor base to Zhanghai City to gather supplies, and they discovered that all the supplies near Sunshine Complex had been completely cleared out. They came from the survivor base to Zhanghai City to scavenge and found the entire area around the complex had been stripped clean. They tracked the supply movement back to the complex and scaled the wall at night, but the moment they dropped down on the other side, I had already detected them. My zombie army moved fast and surrounded them. Lightning 2 instantly killed one evolver, and Chonk's dual hammers sent 2 close-range fighters flying backward. In the chaos, I stepped in myself, and after training with the Blood Saber 1 horizontal slash, cut the last fleeing evolver clean in half. I searched them and found survivor base ID badges. I realized the human factions were developing faster than I thought. Sunshine Complex would eventually be exposed. I decided to move. The target was Clearwater Farm on the edge of the city. Open land that could be farmed far from human territory. Plenty of zombies nearby to reinforce the ranks, and most importantly, it would give little Qiki a better place to grow up. Qiki could not stay cooped up in a concrete building forever. She needed sunlight and fresh air. And fresh vegetables. Speaking of vegetables, I felt terrible about the kids' diet being so limited for so long. Formula fried rice and rice porridge every single day. Not a single vegetable in sight. Once we got to the farm, I could take control of things. Clear and till the land and grow crops so Qiki could eat real fresh food. But there was still one thing to deal with before we left, and that was Su Muqing. Her resurrection ability was too tricky to deal with. Could not kill her. Could not just leave her. But since we were leaving anyway, might as well just let her go. And never cross paths again. I told Qiki the plan. She nodded quietly, then asked, "Will Big Sis want to come with us?" I knew the answer in my heart, knowing Su Muqing. She would never leave the survivors at the station behind. There was no way she would come with us. When I was not looking, Ruoxu quietly slipped a note into Su Muqing's hand. Clearwater Farm. Before Su Muqing left, she asked Ruoxu, "Do you still remember our promise?" Ruoxu smiled and said, "If someday you find that the world is not as good as you thought it was, and you no longer want to protect others, remember to come protect me instead." Su Muqing limped back to the station and walked into a scene that broke her. The very survivors she had risked everything for had become monsters who preyed on people. They had killed every officer who refused to go along with them, and they had even killed Su Muqing herself. Su Muqing rose for the third time, her power surging again. She executed every single one of the cannibals, leaving no one standing. The last one knelt on the ground, begging Officer Su, "You are a good person, I just wanted to survive." I did not mean to. Su Muqing turned to walk away, but heard the click of a gun being cocked behind her as she spun around in a flash, and broke his ribs with a single punch. Why would you do that? Why betray me? Standing among the bodies, Su Muqing felt hollow inside. She remembered what Ruoxu had said. What if those people were never worth protecting in the first place? Yeah, were these filthy animals really worth sacrificing herself for? Staring at the note in her hand with Clearwater Farm written on it, Su Muqing took one last look at the place she had once planned to dedicate her life to, then turned and disappeared into the night. Cheeky, I'm coming for you. On the day we moved out, 5 heavy-duty trucks rolled out of Sunshine Complex in a convoy. Every driver's seat was occupied by a zombie, and behind each one followed hundreds more.